So you're in the market for a new Linux distribution, and you've heard about Deepin OS. You're not quite sure whether it is the right distribution for you because people have mixed feelings about it. Some people like it a lot, some people hate it. That's what we are going to speak about during this video. Stay tuned. If you are new to Linux apps, don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell to have the privilege to be the first to watch new content we are coming up with. Linux being a free initiative, people who do use Linux operating systems expect them to be entirely free of charge, as well as available through a licensing package allowing to utilize them to their full extent. That will be more likely under the GPL3, General Public License version 3, licensing agreement. However, a couple of well-known Linux distributions have also an eula, which stands for End User License Agreement. That is the case of CentOS, Mageia, OpenMandriver, OpenSUSE, Oracle Linux, RHEL, Ubuntu Server, and, as you would have guessed, Deepin OS. Those are mainly enterprise-level Linux distributions, and their eula mostly says, we are not responsible if you are to break your $1 million system while using our softwares. The eula of Deepin OS, though, is a bit more demanding than the average. It is important to notice that in November 2018, according to this article on their official website, Deepin Technology did update their eula in order to provide two separated versions. The link of this article will be available in the description below. After the update, one version of the agreement was targeted to community users and the other one targeted to commercial users, therefore making the distribution available under GPL3 and eula license terms. This video will cover the Deepin OS community eula. Let's get started. Here is a copy of the Deepin OS Community Edition eula. You will also be able to find it in the description of this video. Instead of going through the whole eula, I will just try to point out the specific elements that stand as pretty unconventional. First of all, regardless of whether you pay for the software, you must comply with the terms of this eula, which means that no matter whether you are a commercial or a community user, you will have to comply with the terms of this eula as base agreement. Secondly, each software component is under a license located in its source code, which should be conformed to when using it. This makes a bit of sense given that Deepin OS comes bundled with a lot of proprietary softwares in its software center, which goes completely against the philosophy of the distribution it is based on, Debian. Then, with Deepin OS, you cannot publish, deliver, transmit, or store any content that contravenes the laws and regulations that belongs to the country where the user resides, or threatens the social security, social stability, or anything that is inappropriate, insulting, defamatory, obscene, violent, and against the laws, regulations, and policies that belongs to the country where the user resides. You can neither issue, deliver, or transmit bulk advertisements or spams. Finally, you cannot take any action to threaten the security of the network, including but not limited to use data or enter server account without permission, enter public networks or private computer, and delete, copy, amend, or add stored information without permission, attempt to detect, scan, or test the weakness of the software system or the network, or attempt to conduct any other activities to damage the network security system. Attempt to intervene with affect the normal operation of the software or the network. Intentionally spread malicious programs or viruses,
and take other actions to damage or intervene with the normal information service of the network. Forge part of all of the titles of TCP/IP packages. If you are to go against all those regulations, what is going to happen then? They stipulate that if a user violates the provisions of the EULA and make damages, Deepin technology has the right to take measures, including but not limited to suspending the license, stopping the services, restricting the use, and legal investigations. Finally, when it comes to support services, while Deepin is making a great effort to support users of the software through the Deepin Linux community, which is an open community online that you can access and participate to. I will leave the link to the community in the description of the video below. It's not obliged for Deepin to make any support to the users of Deepin Software Community Edition, nor to guarantee to support promptly and effective. Secondly, you expressly assent that Deepin technology can use the technical information you provided, if any, such as bug feedback and suggestions for business purpose. This basically means that by using Deepin, you are aware that they can use your information and it is clearly stipulated in their contract, in their agreement. And furthermore, they are not obliged to provide you with any kind of support if you are using the community version of Deepin. They are actually trying to get yourself out of the case if you cannot get any kind of support from them. Deepin OS, despite its very appealing and sleek user interface, is a Linux distribution that has to be adopted after making sure that you can comply with all its requirements. I hope this video did not discourage you to try Deepin OS as daily driver. On this note, see you around.